Hello and welcome everybody, just setting up the stream. I'm just going to check that the audio is working. I have actually no idea how to check if the audio is working, because my phone is currently at the webcam. But just give me one moment. Yeah, I'm really sorry guys, just setting up the stream. I'm just got to make sure that the audio is working as well. I'm just got to make sure that the audio is working as well. I'm just got to make sure that the audio is working as well. Yeah, I'm really sorry, just 1 minute guys. Can you hear the music? Totally not cat, welcome to the stream. Yes, we're building a warship today. Totally not cat, how did your project go? How did your coursework go? I'd be interested to know. I'm going to start off with some red. So we finished off last stream taping off and getting ready to paint the bottom. It's looking really good, and we're going to be using the painting guide that came with the ship, which is here. So we can see that all of this needs to be red. Other than the screw, I'm not quite sure what colour we're going to do the screw. We'll probably end up having to half paint it in the grey. But we're going to paint the entire base red first. So we're going to start off with our Artis Opus condition for the brushes. And we're going to get our brush. I've chosen for this one to use the Army Painter vehicle brush after we are technically painting the vehicle. So we get that nice and conditioned in, and I rub it in. Oh wow, congratulations. Yeah, no, that's amazing. Well done you. I'm hoping my streams that help. But no, honestly, well done. Well deserved. You put a lot of effort into that. Very thick paint, so what we're going to do is we're going to end up putting some thinner in here, just a thinner medium, just to help try and thin it out a little bit. We'll add 3 into that one because we don't want it like last time where it was too runny, but we also don't want it too thick, but it's not going to apply very well. We're going to end up with painting these. Actually, we're going to need a lot more. We're going to need a lot more paint, so we've got quite a lot of red to paint. I think we'll add a few more drops of both. Effectively, what the thinner should do is it should make sure that the paint is really, really nice and thin, goes on evenly, but without reducing the pigmentation. Another 3 drops, that should do fine. But yeah, well done, Totally Not Cat. Let's get a W in chat for Totally Not Cat for his amazing coursework.
shelling them. Flow galactic, cool man Bellingham. Man, I got love in Krakow and Birmingham. The gal love me, but I keep hurting them. I'm a twat, got the chat. Bit of this and bit of that. I'll run up in your yard with a Polish lads. By the time we're done, it won't be your flat, like flat. Tire, jet, flyer, man.
You see, this is going on a bit too thickly. As you can see, we're getting lots and lots of panel runs from the brushes. So let's more thinner. Maybe add on that couple. Let's stick with some. Not really more.
Bottles on tap, let me pop one. We make it bang like
That should be a lot nicer. I've still got to thin out the stuff that was already on there, but that's okay. I actually even think we could get away with some more thinner. This is really, really thick paint, as you can see. I've never used the paint that's this thick, I don't think. I usually use Citadel paint, but for this model, as it's my first ever one, I've used the guide that came with it, the painting guide for the colours, which gives like a Vallejo, yeah, that's much better, Vallejo matchup, and some other ones as well, because this is suggests using Mr. Hobby, which is very hard to get in the UK. In fact, it's just difficult to get in the West. I'm going to try and keep this all in one direction, to be honest. But I'm aware that the previous paint has been applied very, very thickly, and so we just need to add the thinner in, just to help it all settle in very nicely. We might actually just add some thinner onto the back of the ship at this point, just to help that settle in nicely. To be honest, I probably should have airbrushed this, but my airbrush is very, very bad. It's going to take more than one coat, I have a feeling. This is not quite the red colour that is needed, I don't think. Yeah, actually, according to this, it should be the cocoa brown, not the red colour, so I don't know where we'd put the red colour, to be honest. That's gone everywhere. So, go back to the drawing board. Just wipe some of this off. I don't understand where on the instructions actually that we would need to put red paint, because there's no mention of it on here. I mean, we're looking for H33, and this is where you read the instructions first, guys. And it actually doesn't look like there's an H33 on here. No, I don't know why we've got this then. It might be for the Chinese flag at the end. Yeah, I think it's for the Chinese flag at the end. H99. That's gold. H1729. Yeah, it'd be cocoa brown. And I'm not actually seeing anywhere on there that would be H33. But that's on me, guys. Not paying enough attention. Let me try and get my tissue out. We'll get mine. It does say we need it, but it doesn't say where we need it. It's a bit concerning, really. Because now we've got a red paintbrush. I would recommend reading the instructions before you do anything. Don't do what I do, because I'll tell you. That's completely wrong colour, isn't it? Oopsie. Let's try and get this right this time. We need cocoa brown. And I've just got to hope I've actually got the cocoa brown. both of them. Okay, well, let's rotate it around. Yeah, I'm a bit confused then, because it looks red to me. I'm a bit colorblind though, so I've got to shake it, but it'll be alright. Yeah, if you're just tuning in, welcome to the stream. I know we've got a few viewers on YouTube as well, so welcome. We completely messed up by painting it the wrong colour, but it's okay. Yeah, we're here to learn. This is my first warship I've ever built, so I don't really know what I'm doing, to be honest with you. Reading the instructions would have been a huge help though. Yeah, I've put way too much thinner medium in this one, because this is a lot thinner paint. I don't know why the red was just excruciatingly thick. Might be alright once I mixed it in though. It's going to have a reddish hue on the bottom because of the red paint we put in, but it's okay. See, that actually looks now too brown for the bottom of the ship. Could actually probably done with a bit more thinner medium as well. Again, it's the first time doing this, so I have not really much of a clue of what I'm doing, so I have a feeling we're going to definitely need more than one coat. Trying to keep it all in one direction. This is primed. We primed it in the last episode, for those of you wondering. Yeah, totally not cut. The reason we're doing this today is Lynn's still working, and so isn't able to join the stream. Unfortunately, she's a busy lady. But we're hoping that she can get some time soon to join some streams. This actually smells like chocolate. It's very, very nice paint. Might actually need to add a bit more thinner in this. I'm not really sure. Like I said, it's the first time. Don't want to thin it out too much though, because then I'll end up with no pigment. We want to preserve the pigment while also keeping the paint flowing. Let's add a few more drops and see what happens. It's very much a work in progress, trial, test, you know, we'll see what happens. Obviously we want it to be good, but we also want to try our best, and we want to learn new things along the way. Just let me know if the music's too loud, I can put it down as well. It's my first time streaming with music. I thought it'd make a nice addition to these kind of relaxing evening streams, where you've all probably had a hard day's work, either studying or working. And a bit of music to listen to. A nice, gentle, relaxing model building as well will go a long way to help relax. So it's areas like these that an airbrush would be fantastic at. I could try getting the airbrush out, I just don't think it's going to be very useful. We'll see how badly this goes first. Maybe the second coat could be airbrushed then. But airbrush was a very cheap one from Timu. I can tell you that this paint is not going on very well at all. It's most likely my very bad painting skills, to be honest. Or lack of painting skills. years ago. Yeah, I mean, it's not far off for me on Warhammer as well. Last time I played it was when I was at college back in 2018, 2017. So yeah, it's been a very long time, and I haven't touched like model ship building or like even just models full stop since maybe 2008. My dad used to build the Airfix models, and then I'd sit there and paint them. But we're doing all of this. We're building and painting, which is not something I've ever done before. So very exciting. Just give me a minute. I'm going to see if I can find my airbrush. We might as well try it. What could possibly go wrong? Right, so I've got the airbrush out. Don't think this is going to work very well. I'm going to be honest with you, but we'll give it a go. I mean, we're here to try new things, so. Let's put some medium in first. Add some paint. Don't even know how much battery this has got. Probably doesn't have a lot. It's been sitting there for a while. It's already died. Just give me a minute. I'm just gonna plug this in. That looks like something disgusting. Might be alright now. Did not mean for that to turn upside down. It's vaguely working. It's just that the spray pan is very, very bad. Maybe if I tighten out this bit a little bit. It has just died on me again. These paints are a lot better than the Citadel paints when it comes to airbrushing though. Just needs to charge. Unfortunately I've put paint in it now, so. I'm gonna put it to one side for now and let it charge up a bit, but we can always go over it. I don't have a holder for it. Actually, I've got an idea. We'll go back to good old paintbrush for now. At least I know how to use a paintbrush. Wow. I know how to use a paintbrush, don't know how to use a paintbrush well. Should probably let this bit dry a bit before I do a second layer. Yeah, I definitely need to let that dry. As you can see, I'm not the most patient, and I'm not the best at this, but we are here to enjoy and to learn. I've just realised that the light is on. That's better, isn't it? Yeah, definitely need to let that dry a lot longer. We could actually start on the next stage while we wait for that first layer to dry. Actually, I missed a bit. But I don't want to get too much dust up in the air because this produces a lot of dust, as I'm sure you can imagine. This bit looks dry to me. That's a bit better. Still a little bit paintbrushy though, so. Just tuning in though, welcome to the stream. It's a nice relaxing Wednesday evening stream. Just waiting for this to dry. Now that we're actually using the right colour. You can see it's gone a bit wrong. We have actually got some new cement. It was suggested to use some extra thin cement. So that's what we're going to do for some of the final details, I think, just to make it look a little bit better. Have a bit more charge now. As you can see, this airbrush is not very good. Sprays it everywhere except where you want it to go. If you're just tuning in though, welcome to the stream. Today we're building a warship. Usually we'll be playing Genshin, but Lynn's really busy with work and is unable to join us today. She hasn't been able to join this week yet, which we're very sad about as a community, as I'm sure you can all relate to. But she's hoping to be available soon. Bless her, she has to work really hard. She's just started at a new company, so. Yeah, it's run out of battery again. I probably should have charged that before doing the stream. For those of you joining from YouTube though, welcome. It's great to have you along. Definitely, probably need to just let this sit. As you can see, it's coming on and then coming off. But I don't want my paintbrush to go all crusty. I've applied the paint way too thickly at this end, I think, and not thick enough on some other parts. So I think what we might do is leave this over to the side for a bit. We'll try and let this like fully dry, and then we'll try and give it another coat, especially in areas like this where it's just a bit too thick. We might as well try and scrape some of this off, or just try and redistribute it a little bit. It's quite warm in this room, so it should dry relatively quickly. Yeah, see, it's going on a lot smoother on the other side. So what we'll do is we'll leave this over here to dry. Just quickly wipe up some of this. We'll move to the next parts instead for now. So the next bits that we've got to work on is stage 3. I think that might actually be a bit right. So let me just go with that. So the first one, these are E. Oh, we've got lots of E's, but we've also got D, 3728. So I think we should start off with D37. It's a nice big bit. I can get back into cutting and remembering how to do it properly. So this is the D sprue, and on this we need D37 and D28 and D22. So we'll go D37 first, this one here. Then we need D28, so we'll grab D28. This one here. Now we need to be really, really careful here because we do not want to break this at all. Perfect. Let's drop, and then we'll leave D22 because that's on the next portion. So let's sort these ones out first. We've got very, very little to cut off here. I would maybe try and use these first, and then just take the rest off with a scalpel. Same on the other side. He says it's going to be quite difficult to slice this off, I reckon. Right, we'll use a 600 for this one. that here. Want to go some on the bottom as well. I'll use the back of the scalpel just to scrape off some of this additional plastic that's still on there. Thing is, I don't want to take too much off because then we're going to end up with too much of a gap. We don't really want that either. That's much better. And we'll just smooth that out with a 4000 grip. Perfect, and then we'll go the other side as well and we'll try and do the same. Just like that. And we'll do another 600 just to quick smooth. And then go back into a 4000 just to gently smooth out any extra additional out. Much better. We'll do the same for this. And now one of these is meant to be on here and one of them isn't, so I can see that the one on this side is the one that needs to come off, so I'm going to gently use a pair of tweezers to balance it out and then try and use the snippers just to gently take off one side. Perfect. Just gently sand that down on a 1000. Being very careful not to take too much off. And then we'll go back onto the 4000 and just gently smooth that out. Right, that's the first two bits. We're just going to move them nicely over here out of the way because we don't want to use them. So make sure that the that's still there. And we need a bunch of E parts, so let's get them cut out. And we're going to use E. So for this one, we're going to need 3 different E37s. These little hooks here, there's 3 of them here, so we'll try and get these cut off really nicely, because if we can get these cut off then we can maybe get away with them not having to sand it. We cut it off well, and there's some I think got okay, cool. Do the next one. That's all 3 of them. Now we need to be really careful with these because these are tiny little bits. I'm not even sure I can get the camera to focus on these, they're that small. So that's E37. And then we need E45, which is very good cream by the way. This one here. It's going to be a bit tricky to get off actually. Probably going to start off with a 600 again and just try and go over the top in a nice circular motion. for this side. Like so. If you're just tuning in now, welcome to the stream. It's a pleasure to have you along. It's my first time building a model warship, so we're taking it nice and slow. Do another 4,000. Might actually go up to an 1800 first, just to try and better smooth it. Get a nice small rounded motion to really make sure that the top remains smooth, like so. I'll get that over here as well. And then we have another one of them, but we'll do that in a bit. We've got 2 sets of E23s. Which are these 2 tiny little things here. I don't know how we're gonna sand these down and make them look good. I think these are supposed to be life rings. So one good cut there. We're going to be relying on the snippers to do most of the heavy lifting here. So I don't think I'm going to be able to do much sanding though, because they are absolutely ludicrously smooth. So I bought some Display Year of the Snake Special Edition snippers, and honestly, they have been fantastic. We also need an E36, which is up here, which is even smaller than the previous ones. So we're going to gently okay, I think that has just gone forever. It landed on my hand, and then I think it bounced off. It's so small, it could be anywhere. Nope, I have found it, I have found it. That is crazy small. I think what we'll do is we'll try and attach them before we repaint from the base. It's pretty much dry. And what we're going to do is we're going to put this on top of the primer pot. Like that. I'm not sure we're going to be able to get all of these in because, as you can see, it's mostly taped up. I know where this goes. I can actually reach this one. Let's add a small dab of the extra thin cement we've just bought. We can actually also put the other one in. That long one. Should cement that on quite nicely. While we're actually here, we might as well just cut out the other hedgehog. I believe that this is an anti-submarine hedgehog kind of thing. It fires a depth charge. I may be incorrect on that one though. Unfortunately, as much as I do love my warships, when it comes to especially Chinese weaponry, don't have much knowledge, but that's what I imagine it is. Be very surprised if it was for missiles or anything. It seems like the complete wrong shape for that. But it definitely looks like some sort of hedgehog launcher. Let's do the same with this one. Hook that in. Cut the 600. And just really, really go over the top. Like this. Again, taking very extra care just to keep that circular motion in. We'll go for the 1800. Like so. And then we'll just smooth that out for 4000. Unfortunately, this would spin that around so we can get the other side because we've missed that off a little bit. Yeah, that's much better. Finish that off with a 1600 and then a 4000. Clean it up with my nail and then just attack a very small dab of glue into the hole. And we gently just lower that in. Like that. Now the gun turret still turns, as you can see. We used a special putty technique there to ensure that it goes in, but it's still able to be turned. If you're just tuning in though, welcome to the stream. We're building a Type 054A FFG PLA, People's Liberation Army Navy missile cruiser. Very long name. It's been a very fun build so far, but this is my first ever warship, so I may be doing everything completely wrong order, at which point I do apologise. Now that should be relatively dry. What I might do is just add another tiny little dab at the bottom there.
Can't kill what I've become. I scream until I'm numb. Now with the summer skies, you're gone. There's nothing I can do or say to get to you. Now I don't
stuck.
know where I belong.
So let's continue painting.
I'm screaming at the ceiling. Every word's a twisted
Try and improve this very bad first coat. I think I thinned it out too much on the first one, so I might just go a bit thicker this time, but a little bit less medium in it. Obviously we still want it to run, but we don't want it to be thin enough that we can see through it. To be honest, I don't really know how to use the thinner, and we might actually be better off using water. The thing is, I don't obviously want paintbrush lines, because that would kind of ruin the immersion that it's an actual ship and not something Morgan's painted. It's actually gotten way better now. I think we're just going to have to deal with some paintbrush lines. It's unfortunate, but this is the first build, and as much as I want it to be perfect, you know, this is a huge learning curve for me. And I don't expect the first one I ever build to be perfect. The next time I'm hoping to maybe paint a Type 55 Renhai destroyer, and that should hopefully be a lot better. But that's still, you know, still no excuse not to get this one as best as we can get it. But that's going on much better. I don't know why I thinned it. I probably shouldn't have done. It's going on much better without the thinning. It might just be that the type of thinner that I have is incorrect for this type of paint. Again, this is my first ever build, and I don't really know what I'm doing. Got a bit of music in this stream. It's the first time. Hopefully I don't get a copyright strike. But alas, you know, I thought it'd just be a bit more interesting, a bit more fun to listen to, and sit here relaxing on your Wednesday evening. Plus, you know, it's a model warship build. You kind of need to listen to music. I think it's a rule. I think we just got the very front to do now. Might have to be taken off a little bit just so I can get to it. Yes, that's looking really good actually. The paint, except maybe at the back a bit, that could do with a bit of work. Might just have to go in with a fine paintbrush on the end here and just ensure that that's nicely coloured. And because I don't want to ruin already what we've done. But that's looking much better. Yeah, that's looking way better. Good. Sometimes it just requires a second coat. So we're just gonna leave that over here to dry. And we'll get back to what we were doing, which was sorting out all the little bits. We need to get D14 out. Right, let's have a look. D14 is this part here. Don't really know what half of these things are for, but it says to put it in, so that's exactly what we'd do. Some of these little parts, providing that they're only a one sprue, we can get a really nice clean cut. And then we don't have to worry about sanding it down. We've done all of those, and we've done those, and then we've done D28 as well. We've done D37. Yeah, that's looking really good. That actually needs to be grey, and that rest of it needs to be dark grey. So we'll do a dark grey and then we'll have to just paint it afterwards. Okay, looking at the picture, the top is actually not quite as simple as I first thought. All of it is a dark grey except the... Actually, let me get the painting guide for you guys. So if we look at this, you can see that all of this is dark grey, except the gun turret, this circle thing, which I'm going to have to paint myself, so that's going to be an interesting one, and then these. So all of this needs to be this grey, which should be alright, but will be a little bit difficult to do once it's already on there, so we're just going to have to take our time and be really careful. Now they may have included a sticker in for this, which is what I'm hoping for. But I won't hold my breath. Oh, everything's falling off. We do actually need to cut out the stuff on the other side now as well. the other E37s and the E36s and E30s and that kind of stuff. So let's get E30 out, because that's a nice big one. Yeah, there's one E30 here and the other one's going to be on the other spool. Perfect. There's one. And the other one as well. It's right here. If you're just tuning in, welcome to the stream. It's great to have you here. For those of you joining on YouTube, it's also great to have you as well. And we hope you enjoy. I can't actually see how many we've got on YouTube, because unfortunately I only have my Twitch stream open. But it's still great to have you on. I can see your messages in the chat. Right, that's all of those ones. There should be an E36, which is this one, tiny little one here, that we nearly lost last time. Nearly lost it again. Thankfully it landed on the desk. Oh no. Okay, I can confirm that has been lost now. It went flying. It's so small, I'm never going to find it in my deep carpets. Never mind, don't need that bit. I mean, we do, we want every bit. But it doesn't look like it's an important bit. Oh no, we're dropping everything today. Ah, it landed up here, it's fine. Shame the other one didn't fly up there. It's probably halfway across the room, to be honest. These little bits of plastic really do enjoy flying. I need to get D22 out as well. Okay, it's this one. We also need to get a photo etched part out of PE9. Well, that's all of the fencing, so it's not going to be on that one, it should be on the other one. PE9, this one. Let me just do this. If you want to know where I got some of these tools from, so most of the tools, like the golden display ones, were from I think it was oeshop.co.uk. YouTube video to follow on that, because I did an opening and I recorded the opening, because this is a limited edition collection. The rest of it, like paints and stuff, they were bought from Element Games, and they were very, very good and very, very helpful to make sure that I have the right tools that I need. Very, very appreciative to them, so hats off to them, and a big shout out. As for the actual kit, I bought the kit in a model shop in China. Authorized Trumpeter reseller, so I regularly travel to China. It's one of my favourite countries. If you ever get the chance to go, I absolutely recommend it. And that's all of those bits. Let's bring the actual hull over. Yeah, I can see a few bits we've missed towards the back. But the main front is looking pretty good. It's a little bit rough. You can definitely see the painting lines, unfortunately. I'm just going to use the paintbrush and just get some of the last bits of detail in at the back.
Stuck in my head and I don't know what to do. How do you feel about me? How do you feel about me, girl?
Cool. Right. We do want something soft to put this on, so I don't really want to damage the ship too much. I'm actually just going to tape that onto it as well, so I've got something to hold it with and move it around with without actually like damaging the paintwork at the bottom.
Woke up in the bitch like, what's up? Haven't seen your face in 2 months. Know I did a shit not just once. Yeah, do you notice me anymore? Girl, you know we've been here before. Gotta quit the act and live with me. And we both know it's no secret now. You got my head on the ground, oh, you got it all. Can't you see? You were made for me. You were made for me at all.
Please just give me 1 minute.
How do you feel about me, girl?
Computers now have primary control of critical vehicle functions.
There. If you are watching on YouTube, welcome. I've now got it up so I can see you guys. And I mean, I should still be able to see your chats on the OBS stream, but just to ensure that we have access to all of your messages, I've now added that on as well. Cool. It's great to have you along. Right, let's start off back to the front. So we want to fit E36, and I haven't really done this very straight, but that's okay. Now E36, don't actually remember which one this is. I think it's this really, oh, it's the one that we lost. I don't know what we're going to do with that one. We don't have it anymore. So I think we'll leave that for now. E37 should go in this little gap facing that way. Okay. Got a little bit of glue. So the one right after the gap. Yeah, so there's a gap. Oh dear, this is quite a tricky one. No, it's the one right after this one, so it's this one here. Okay, so let's add a little bit of glue. And then get that one in there very nicely. And then there should be another one. May have done this one incorrectly. That's my first two. Then there should be one in front of this one. Oh yeah, no, I've done this one. I've done this correct. Oh no. This one's really fiddly to do. I'm just going to add a dabble of glue onto one side. And we'll do the next one as well. Just tuning in though, welcome to the stream. We are building a Type 54A PLA Navy FFG, Type 54A FFG warship. It's Chinese. It's a fantastic warship. It's been really fun to build so far. It's taken a very long time though. This new extra thin cement, brilliant suggestion from the last stream, so helpful. Really easy to apply, and makes it really easy to get the kind of level area of where I want it. We do also need to, in front of this one, fit in two of the lifeboats. So I'm actually going to do is peel some of this away. We don't need all of this. And that's got to go into these two. So really easy to do. We'll just add a little dabble of glue. 1, 2, and we'll just drop them in. Right, he says, where's my other... Well, it'd be good if I could find my other tweezers. They're probably over on the other side of the desk somewhere. Don't know where they've gone for now, so we'll just use the other pair that aren't the nice ones. Yeah, that's good. Just give me 1 minute. Alright, that should be nice and dry now. It certainly looks like it. Oh, we can also put in E30, I guess. We do kind of probably want to just level out the ship for this one. I guess we could just rest it on some stuff for now. Finally got a use for these very unusual little things. I think they are supposed to be sounding tabs, but I don't know how to use them, so... There's one. Alright, that was a little bit stiff to get in, but we've managed to get it in now. So that's good. And we'll spin it around and we'll do the other side. Realize these aren't quite straight, and I think it's actually a bit too late to straighten these out a bit. No, not quite. It's tacky enough that we can just about move it. Right, now we're going to need to put in these in the opposite locations. So again, we'll try and get these nice and straight. There's one. Let's get the second one up. Yep, that's perfect. We're getting the hang of this now, guys. Let me just put the last one in. Perfect. Add a small dab of glue to each side. Like that. In fact, while we're here, we can also put in the life rings here. One is here. Like so. It'd be helpful if I could find my other set of tweezers. But I don't actually know where they are at the moment. They're not on the desks for some reason. Oh, there we are. Cool. And what else do we need to put in? We need to put D14, which is the tiny little hole here. So we'll put that one in. And that is this one, and it goes in this way. Perfect. We'll just give it a little dabble. And then we have the front mast. Oh, and the anchors to put on. So I feel like now is the good time to take off all the tape and make sure that we've actually done a good job. Yeah, so you can see on the back here, we've had a little bit of a dribble incident. That's not good. However, on the side, we're looking pretty good. Now the paint wasn't quite dry at the bottom, so now we do actually have a bit of tissue on there. It's quite an easy fix, but it's just an annoying fix, because that could have been quite easily avoided. Unfortunately, the line hasn't been perfectly straight either, The frog tape kind of letting us down a bit. But still a far better job than if I'd just done it freehand. So. And it's stuff that can relatively easily be cleaned up. So. Yeah, maybe a few too much spillovers, to be honest with you. You can see a little bit too much spillover actually, but I've seen worse, so it's not to say that I've done a good job, don't get me wrong. Yeah, I've kind of butchered it a little bit, but it might actually be fixable. Thankfully, the tissue is relatively easy to rub off. He says. Yeah, that's alright. A gentle little paint may have just actually saved that. Cool. That's starting to look really good. That line is relatively crisp. Maybe not as crisp as it could be. You can see like up here around the front. Maybe get the camera to focus. It's not quite the straightest. Unfortunately, the way the lighting is running is a little bit not great for this. Trying to get it to focus on my phone has been a tricky one. It's focused perfectly on the background, but not on the front. The thing in the front. Yeah, not perfect, but also not bad. Like, considering this is our first ever paint, ever build, first of basically everything, we're doing really well. And we just got to keep those positives up. Now we need to put the front on and we need to put the photo edge part. I'm a little bit hesitant to put the front on just yet, because if we knock it, then that rod has snapped. And we don't want that. Where's my tweezers gone? We'll get the photo edged part. I'll just place this in here. Don't like the fact that it's not perfect. So it's a bit better. Yep. Right. Cool. So we need to put the anchors on. But that's okay. We can put the anchors on. And these go on the front. Now these aren't going to be easy to knock off, so that's good. How far up the front do they need to go? Oh, right. One goes on the front, like the very front. I don't know how we're going to manage that one. And the other one goes on the side. Here. Now, these are not the straightest anchors. If you watched the last stream, you'll know why. Not quite sure how I'm supposed to attach these, to be honest. I can attach it like that. Oh, I think that's how we are going to attach it. It's going to stick out a little bit. that's okay. And then we'll try and find a way to paint on the put on the front one. I don't know how we're going to manage the front one because there's nothing really for it to sit into. Yeah, I don't know how we're going to do that. I think we'll come back to that at some point because that's a little bit maybe beyond my skill right now, but maybe as we get better, as we paint, it becomes a little bit easier. We are just going to very quickly. 1 second. Doesn't really help us on the big brush, but we could use the little brush to paint the screws on the back. But I think we'll wait because we need to just do the entire grey. We might as well do the propellers at the same time. But what we could actually do is glue on the propellers. We have one propeller here. I've managed to find the other one. Yep, and the other one's here. So we have the two propellers. Should just gently just come off the wood here. Yep, there we are. Just waiting for the propeller, the anchor to dry a bit. I don't want to accidentally rip it off and ruin it. That should be relatively glued. Point where we can now stand that up like so and try and glue on one of these propellers. Probably want that tilted down a bit. Yeah, like this. Yeah, that's perfect. Cool. Right, so let's actually just move it this way a little bit so it's a bit easier. I can actually see that I've missed a bit of painting. If I can just find my little paintbrush. Well, it was over the back here. I've had a bit of move around since I last painted. Yeah, there. Cool. So, I'm just going to add a bit more paint into this and then just finish off the back a little bit because it's a little bit messy. That's a bit better. Some of these more hard to reach areas. I'm wondering if we've missed any on the other side as well. Not as much, but still a little bit, yeah. So that's much better. In fact, while we've got this little paintbrush out, we could actually probably just do the grey. Because then we know that the entire base of the ship is done. And that we're not going to have to worry about it when we come to later. Because then, if we've got loads of stuff on the top, the last thing we're going to want to do is flip it over. It's fairly heavy paint. It smells quite nice. It's not too strong. But definitely a deeper smell than Citadel paint, for example. Oh no, it's all gone crashing to the floor. Hopefully nothing fell off. I have actually noticed I've got one little split here. Don't want that. To cut that off. Yeah, see, nothing's damaged on the front. And that's what yeah, if I'd have put on that antenna, then as soon as I dropped that, that would have snapped off. So ideally, you want to like do the long extended stuff last. Which is why we're painting the base here first. Just tuning in, welcome to the stream. It's great to have you along on this Wednesday evening. It's not Monday, it's Wednesday. It really is great to have you along. We hope you're enjoying yourselves. Lim can't be here today, she's working, which is why we're not doing a Genshin stream. But she will be on soon. So some of you may be wondering why I've picked this ship. It's actually purely because of the aesthetics. It's a very simple ship in terms of looks. So I thought, you know, as a beginner, it'd be quite nice to start there. But you know, on top of that, I feel like some of the Chinese warships are really, really cool. And a little bit underappreciated, and you know, I want to be one of the appreciators. The Type 55 is the second most powerful warship in the world at the moment, only following the USS Gerald R. Ford. Now, this is a Type 54, not a Type 55. I couldn't actually find a model of the Type 55 Renhai, but a Type 54 is a really, really cool ship nonetheless. And again, like I said, it's not like super easy to build, but I feel like it's going to be a little bit easier to build than, let's say, a World War II battleship, which is what I was originally going to go for. While that is actually drying, I'm just going to put on the missile silo because we've forgotten to do that bit. The missile solo we cut out last stream, but now we actually get to attach it. Now some of you may be wondering, why are we not painting the silver? Well, basically the entire ship is silver, and so we'll probably do that last. Once everything's built, we can then build and paint the final grey of the main hull, because we're going to have to, basically, I'm going to have to ward off the bottom bit anyway before I do any more spraying and priming. And so once we've done that, we can then do a very, very nice, very quick, very easy grey paint over the top. That's the aim anyway. Thing is, we are many, many streams away from that, so there's no point in rushing. I think our anchor's fine. This is just the other one. But thank you for pointing that out. Right. What do we want to do next? Oh, we've still got to put on E25, so let's cut that out. E25. I thought we'd already cut that out, but maybe not. Yep, E25 now. What is this actual piece? Don't know what this is actually. It's absolutely tiny though. There's a huge bit on the top that needs cutting off, so let's get the tweezers out. I don't know how this is supposed to attach, so I'm just checking that. Alright, okay, yeah, I see how it's supposed to attach. Like this. Just do a small dab of glue. I'm actually struggling to get this in the right place. It's not perfect. I'm going to be honest with you. It's not perfect at all. But I've done the best I can. It doesn't actually fit into the hole as well as I was hoping it would. And so, unfortunately, it's not quite right. Okay, that's maybe a little bit too much glue there. Oh, perfect. The second one went in so much better. Right, we've just finished step 3. Well, we've still got to put the propellers on. But that is step 3. The next bit is going to be building the base. I don't know why we didn't do this first. We've had something nice to rest it on. Actually, I don't think that is the base. I think that's actually the main hull of the, like the citadel of the ship. That's going to be a really, really cool part, actually. We're really excited for that. So, I'm actually going to switch this over, and then we're going to go into gluing in the propellers. Just give me 1 moment. This bit keeps coming back worse. That's actually alright. Let me just get rid of the paint on this one. Get a bit of brown. We'll just dab some brown over it, like that. Like that. Yeah, no, unfortunately the big paintbrush is now too red because I dipped it into the red water, which is not very good. Right, let's add a little bit of glue onto the base of one of these. There's one. Let's see if I'll do the same for this one. I'm going to attach a small dab over the join, just to ensure that it joins properly. The last thing we want is one of these falling off. Nice, that went on really, really well. I was a bit worried I might have still a bit of wood in there from the stick, but it's gone on really, really nicely. Cool. Right, we can actually move this out the way and let all of that dry, because we're now on to the next step. Next step, we need the A part. So we get to open up a new bag. Wow, exciting. That's where all the sand is going to come out. We'll keep this over there for now. Open up the bag this side. Like that. And we're going to start off with A1, which is this huge piece here, and we're just going to use our beautiful snaky Despise snippers. But let's clean this up. I don't want to take too much here, so let's use the back a little bit. Cool. We do need to take quite a bit off here, like so. Spin this over. Cool. Next one. This one. Next one is on this side. It'll be a bit harder to sort out because there's actually a little groove in here, because this, I assume, sticks to the hull. So we'll gently just slice off a bit at a time, like so. Don't actually know how we're gonna actually cut any of this off for trying to get this flush, but we'll do our best. so. Yeah, that's looking really good. We have this side as well, I think. Yeah, just a little bit. Like so. Just gently try and get some of that off. Again, just very gently. Like so. Yeah, I'm liking that one. Cool. Just move over to the next piece now, which is a 12. Where did I put the sprue? Oh, yep, the sprue's back here. Sorry, I keep knocking over my microphone. I've put it a bit too close. I'll move it for the next stream. Do that one. Oh, I didn't check that one. Did I do this one? No, I didn't. Let's go back and quickly do that before I forget. Just got to come in a little bit here and gently just scrape off some of that. Yeah, that was perfect first time. Nice. We'll go back to this. So that's that one. Let's go ahead and do this one. That one. That one. This one and the final one. Again, these snippers, the Despy limited edition Snake Edition, are fantastic. They have one side pincer, one side cut. So I don't know if you can see here. This side is basically flat, this side's sharp. So when they pinch together, they don't pinch the plastic; they cut the plastic, which makes it really, really nice to get really nice clean cuts without warping the plastic. I'm going to be honest, I asked ChatGPT to give me the best tools for doing this, and it suggested Despy were the best. Now, obviously, I'm extra, so I ended up getting the Year of the Snake limited edition. Considering we are building a Chinese warship, I thought that was a good idea. Right. Let me know if you can actually hear the music as well, by the way. You should be able to. I have got some music on in the background, so hopefully that will help the stream, make it a bit more chill for a Wednesday evening. Yeah, halfway through the week, you don't have long left. And myself, I'm also working, but I don't work as hard as maybe I could do. But we're halfway through the week, and that's good. It's nearly the weekend. You're one step closer. And maybe you're going to do some model building. Or maybe you've got other stuff to do. For me, I don't know what I'm going to be doing yet. There'll be a stream. Hopefully Lynn won't be working too hard, and that we can then do a Genshin stream together. So I'll be looking forward to that. Otherwise, it will be another model warship building one. We just missed a bit there. We can get that off with the back of the scalpel. Kind of want to use the back of the scalpel for some of the stuff here, because we don't want to take off too much plastic at a time. And this will help us just take a little bit off without actually cutting into it. I'm actually going to have to sand that bit, unfortunately. Didn't quite do it well enough. So we'll try using a 4000 grit. We're going to have to go a bit harsher. Maybe 1000? We'll try an 1800. Yeah, that's good. Cool. Now I've got this little groove thing to do as well. This one's quite difficult. I think we got that quite good though. Not quite. I've still got a bit to slice off here. Like so, and then we've just got to go in a bit here. we'll just use the back of the scalpel a little bit. Like so. Now there are people that would have probably finished this by now. We are only on the 4th step. But as I said, you know, this is my first ever model. You know, back in the day, I used to paint them, but my dad would build them. I never ever had the patience to actually build them myself. So Dad used to do that. I just sat there painting. Even then, my painting techniques are pretty bad. My building techniques are even worse. If you do have any tips, please, you know, don't hesitate to put in the comments. There will be comments on the YouTube one, but you can just put a chat if you've got any questions, any comments. Gnorian, welcome to the stream. I hope you're having a good time on this Wednesday evening. This is my first ever build and second stream of this, so I hope you're having fun. I'll let you know if there's any improvements that can be made. But it's great to have you along, and I hope you're having a fantastic Wednesday, wherever you may be. We're just doing a nice chill Wednesday evening stream. Just got one more bit to do here. And about. Doing fine, that's good to hear. Yeah, I'm doing fantastic, thank you. I'm having a super fun time building this warship. If you missed the earlier bit of the stream, we actually did some painting, which did not go very well because we accidentally painted it the wrong colour. But we have corrected it. I'll get the hull of the ship out for you. This is where we're at so far. We've got gun turret. This does move. It's not really focusing, I do apologise. Ashley, let's turn down the lighting. That might make it a bit better. Darken it up a bit, that should help it focus. Yeah, that's much better. We have a moving gun turret. It took a while to sort out, but yeah, we're certainly getting there. Probably help if I put the actual overhead light on as well. Yeah, we're slowly getting it. This is my first ever model warship, so it's certainly a learning curve. Sorry, I keep hitting my microphone. It's not very well placed. It's literally right in front of me. So the camera's here, and then the microphone's like literally right in front of it. So it's kind of in the way, as I'm sure you can imagine. Right, now we need to get A3. So that'll be these bases here. And right, so we'll cut this one off. We'll just gently cut all of these off. And yeah, we should probably cut these bits off because these are quite big. We can sand this one down though if we need to. This one should be fine. This is the other one has quite a lot of detail, so I prefer to do it all with the scalpel. I'm better with a knife than sandpaper anyway, so. Right, and then we'll do this one as well on this side. Again, using the back of the scalpel just to take a bit of plastic off. Kind of like sand it down, but without actually trying to cut away too much. Occasionally we'll have to use the front though. Try to keep the blade very, very flat. No, we need to take quite a lot off here actually. Yeah, like that, that's cool. Well, we can both learn along the way because I know very little as well. Yeah, I've watched like a short video on like what not to do, and then thought that I'll give it a go myself and find out along the way. You know, back in the day, my dad used to build my FX models, and I'd just paint them because I really wanted to paint stuff, but I didn't want to build stuff. I just didn't have the patience. Now, obviously, I'm an adult. It falls down to me to build them. But yeah, it's certainly not a strong point of mine. I mean, we've missed a few bits here and there. I've managed to lose one bit already. It was like the size of a hair, and it went flying. And has now gone forever in my deep carpets. I don't think even the Hoover is going to be able to hoover it up. But yeah, we're all here to learn. but I do know that if you use the back of the scalpel, you can help scrape some away, but without actually scraping too much off. And it just helps you maybe not cut too much off. Is the music volume alright? I'm not 100% sure. I have no way of checking it, but I hope that it's alright. Are you able to listen to it? Perfect, that's good to hear. Nice, chill, and relaxing. So copyright free lo-fi track by, well, playlist by The Relaxed Movement, Henry Keat. I'll drop a link in it in a bit. But yeah, focuses on doing DMC kind of DMCA music for streamers. Very, very nice of him. And now we need to get B19B. Oh, this is another one we haven't opened yet. Oh no, tell a lie. This one came open. B19 is this one here. So we'll get our snippers out. And we'll just gently plop, plop. Yeah, all of the tools we're using are either suggested by Element Games in the UK or ChatGPT. As I know. Oh, thank you very much. Yes, this is handmade silver. It's actually engraved underneath with a crescent moon. I'm not sure I'm going to be able to get that up on the stream. But yeah, thank you. Handmade. Not by me, obviously. But yeah, handcrafted. One of a kind one could almost say. But yeah, I went to a silversmith in China, in Beijing, on my many travels. Right. So I believe it goes this way. Now, how are we going to do this? Let's firstly work out which one's which. That's probably not a very smart idea, mixing them up. I think this is A12 though. So we need A3, this one, and this is going to fit somehow in here. Ooh, pardon me, in here. Yes, yeah, it was a couple of young gentlemen. They sit out the front with a bunch of silver and hammer it into the shapes that people want them to be. Yeah, I'm very, very fortunate that should probably use this one, right? No, it doesn't really matter. Yeah, very fortunate that I wandered along and saw them making something, and then asked them to make a snake, and then asked them to put crescent moon in it for me. It's very, very nice of them. And it wasn't that expensive either. Obviously, you have the cost of silver, because silver is quite expensive, or relatively expensive. Obviously, it's not as much as gold. Just going to use the extra thin stuff from now on. This one's great, but as you know, those of you that were in the first stream would have noticed how difficult it was to use, especially on these smaller detailed parts. Very, very difficult. Try and keep this at a perfect vertical. Just let that dry for a minute. Hopefully I've glued them the right way around, because it's going to be quite embarrassing if I haven't. Would not be the first time we've done this. Unfortunately. Where's my tweezers? There we go. That's where we have a pair of tweezers. And what we're going to do is we are going to basically do the same. We're going to just drop a bit of glue down here and down in this channel. hope that this is glued enough that we can slide it in the gaps on this one, because then this should help keep it all very, very together. So we can actually make sure that it's all all glued in very, very flat and even. So let's move that one up into the gap. Yep, like so. Like so. And I hope that that is about square. It's probably not perfect. Again, this is not going to be the perfect build. This is my first time building a warship. You know, but we can do our best. And that's what we're aiming for. We want it to be perfect. That's not always within our ability. Oh, like, I should have probably glued this one in first. But alas, that is a mistake that has been made. And that is a mistake that cannot be fixed. May be able to be fixed, actually. We want it to go in on this way, like that. And similarly, we just want to glue on the other side as well. Sides by accident, but I didn't. Right there. So make sure this is nicely squared out, like so. And then we should be able to just pull that gently apart, quickly slide that in, and then hold it together. Perfect. See? A mistake was made. Exactly, happy little accidents. Mistakes were made, but we can fix it. We have stretched out the plastic slightly, so we're just going to do another little like upwards glue on these joints, just to remelt into this new position. Again, these are designed to glue the plastic together, which is great until you stretch the bonds. And we'll also put some in at the bottom, just to reinforce. And again on the other side. Not the steadiest of hands either, which probably doesn't help. I've only had 2 coffees today. So that's nicely together. Now I believe the shorter side is the front. I say I believe because I don't actually know. But according to the piece of paper in front of me, that's what I'm thinking anyway. Right, let's get out A13. We'll leave this to over here just to dry and shape up a little bit. We need to get number A13. Now I've got to find my A over here. A13. Which one is this one? This one here. This is going to go right onto the front. So we might as well do that now. We'll gently snip like that. Go to the other side and snip and snip. Just like so. Move that out of the way. And we'll get the scalpel back out and do some surgery. And just gently scrape off the front like this. And then scrape off the back. Maybe a little bit more. It's not quite even. That's much better. Look at that. Cool. The back's fine. We have this one to do now as well. Yep. And then this one as well. Yep. And then just a little bit here as well. Perfect. And that's looking really, really smooth. Now, thankfully, all of the holes and stuff in the back, and we shouldn't actually have to see them. Right, now this I think is supposed to go in the front. Like here maybe? Does it go on the back bit? Oh, that can't be right, because then that's sloping forward. Wow. This may not have gone as well as I was expecting. I don't understand why it's asked us to glue the first bit, and now it's asking us to put this on this way, because this doesn't really make sense to me. I would expect it to go in the front like so. But I can't actually get it into that front, so maybe it is supposed to go like this. Yeah, by the looks of the picture, it is supposed to go behind that bit. It's a bit confusing, because I'd have expected to not be in the front, and I also would not expect it to be angled inwards. With all that oh, that's why I'm being a silly biddy. It's because I'm putting it on the wrong way around. Yeah, I didn't understand the instructions very well. Yeah. For those of you wondering, this is a Trumpeter model. The Trumpeter Type 054A FFG. But it is in English. I just clearly can't look at pictures and understand them. Right, we'll just push that in, and what we'll do is we'll just do a quick zoom at the bottom and up. Zoom up at the bottom and up. We might have to fill this in, but I'm hoping we're not going to have to. We can just kind of use the glue to melt the plastic and fill in the gaps for us. Now, I don't know if you can see on the stream. I don't understand why it's not focusing necessarily on the bits that I wanted to. Oh, okay. Well, I've just worked out how to switch on the torch on the camera, so that's a bonus, I guess. Does not help a little bit. It does not help at all, to be honest. But there is like a detail here where it's got like the doors, some ladders. I'll switch that off and see if it works now. You can't really see it. I'll do a close-up on YouTube when it's all done. So if you guys are interested in seeing the final build with all of the detail, that will probably be the best place to watch it. I mean, the streams will be both on YouTube and on Twitch, but I'll end up probably putting it on YouTube as a final video, sped up obviously, and then like a nice little 90 degrees at the end, just so you guys can see like the final completed full edition. Right now we've got another bit to make, and we have to make this one, so this will be fun. So we need to start off with A10. A10 is this one, and we're going to put this, well, this is the new middle piece. I don't understand why they couldn't have injection molded all of this as one piece, because I really don't want to have to glue this together. But I guess these do have quite a lot of detail on, and it'd have been a lot harder to get that said detail. A8 and A, oh, that's 6, there's A9. I'm just gonna, on the back, with the scalpel, just put in a number 8 on this one. 8's probably the easiest one to do. Oh no, 8's got the circle on it. Cool. Right, let's start off with number 10, and we just need to get rid of the additional bits that have come off the sprue. Like so. And then we need to do the same on the other side. Thankfully, we haven't had to really sand much at this point, which is quite fun. I don't like sanding stuff down. It produces loads and loads of dust. I've actually just taken a bit too much plastic off, which hopefully we can hide. It looks like we might be able to. Yeah, it looks like we should be able to hide that at the bottom, which is what we kind of want. And again, I've taken way too much off there. Right. These need to be glued like this. That's a door, should be on that side. So, well, this is going to be a fun one. I'm not sure if I want to glue this on here first. Yeah, no, it's supposed to go in front. Right, let's put the front bit there, and then the door should be on this side. Yeah, okay. Wow, this is going to be a really, really tricky one. The door should be on this one, so that's got to go on like that. And then we're just going to have to hold it at the right angle for about 5 minutes. Door and door. Okay. Actually, that is stuck quite quickly. I'm tempted to try and plop this. Say plop in the nicest way, shape, and form onto here to make sure that we get the right shaping. Yeah, that's worked really, really well actually, and then we're going to do the same for number 9. And unfortunately I can't see the picture of the door on number 9, so I'm just going to have to guess that it's this way around. Would have been nice for them to show it from the other angle, but they didn't, so there's not much I can do other than guess. Okay, might need a bit more glue on this one. Like so. Yeah, that's looking really, really good. Right, and then we just got to get a 6 and 7 out. Oh, there's a bottom going for my foot. Fantastic. We'll just snip and we will. Let's do A7 first. But if you're just tuning in, welcome to the stream. It's fantastic to have you along on this Wednesday evening. We are building a Type 54 FFG missile cruiser, I think, from the PLA Navy. I can't remember which one this was. This was number 7. Number 7 goes on this side. Okay, so some glue, add some glue, and then we'll try and drop it in. Yeah, that's good. That is good. I'm just going to reinforce that a bit with some more glue here. I want that to be nice and melted together. And then we'll get the other one off A6 and we'll do the other side. Again, we're going to go from the back. Try and get as close as we can. I know it usually says not to go too close. But when it comes to this kind of stuff, we have such a good pair of snippers that I reckon that we can get quite close without warping the plastic. If you are using like a really cheaper pair, which is absolutely fine, you know, don't get me wrong, there's nothing wrong with using some budget equipment, then you just want to be, you know, extra careful and do it from a slightly further away, and then you can just sand or use a scalpel for the rest. But we are using a pair of Display which are considered the best according to ChatGPT and Reddit. So depending how well you trust those, really. I don't know anything about model building, so I mean, going into this, I thought I was really good at following instructions, and that is not the case. That is looking really good. We're just going to cement the bottom bit to prevent any gaps, and up there as well. Just going to push some pressure on the top. We're just going to do a small glue along the bottom as well to try and get that nice and melted and try and cover up the gap, because again, I don't really want to put any putty on this, because I feel like we're then going to have to spend so long trying to like carefully sand it down, and I don't have a rotary tool yet. Please bear with, I just need to grab a drink. Yeah, I can give that a go on stream at some point. I don't really know what crochet is. I think it's a bit like sewing. I'm actually relatively good at sewing. Something I had to learn from a very young age. But that sounds like an interesting challenge. Is crochet the one where you do like the backdrops and you have like a really nice scene? I'm not quite sure. If you just give me a minute, I can look it up. Oh, it's more like knitting. Oh yeah, no, that looks way too complicated for someone like me. I mean, if you can do that, then I am thoroughly impressed, because that looks extraordinarily tricky. That's not what I thought it was at all. Wow. Yeah, no, I would get lost immediately on that one. Yeah, I can't count. I don't need to do crochet to know that I can't count. But yeah, I mean, that looks very, very tricky. Yeah, sorry, I'm not very well versed in a lot of things. We might as well cut A14 as we've got it open. We've nearly done the 4th step. We've actually covered more steps this time than we did last time, so that's quite impressive. It's not that tricky after you learn it step by step. Ah, fair enough. But I guess it's probably got quite a big learning curve. On to the next bit. Now we'll do this bit here. Just be very careful not to accidentally snap this bit off, because that would be very awkward. And these bits here. Okay. Yeah, and then the next one on this side. I've actually cut off a little bit too much. Yeah, learning curve can be quite sharp. Yeah, I can imagine. I just typed in crochet and the first picture that came up was like a penguin. And that looked very, very complicated. Anything where you can make a 3D penguin just using some thread deserves a lot of respect from me, because that sounds quite impossible. Alright, we're gonna put a bit of glue there, a bit of glue there. I've just realised I think I've missed a bit of the front. No, it's supposed to be like that. Okay, cool. Let's get the door in. What way do we put the door? I don't think it actually matters. It doesn't fit. It doesn't actually fit. Oh, this is a travesty. This is a travesty. It doesn't actually fit in the bit that I've glued. Because I think I've glued the wrong place. Right. I'll just quickly put glue all the way around that and hope that that is enough to hold it. Use our pair of tweezers just to hold that in, and that should be in the right place. Mostly make doilies and such things. Ah, fair enough, yeah. Ah, I haven't seen a doily since my nan was alive. She used to make some of them, that's quite cool. She used to make some afternoon tea, but she'd have to serve it with a cake, and so she served it all on little plates with doilies. It was a very, very long time ago though. Those were the good old days. Good old days. I'll put a bit of glue there, and we'll put a bit of glue on this side as well. Not too much, but enough to get it to stick properly. And make that flat. I'm actually struggling to line this one up a bit. That's looking good though. And we've got this side as well. Perfect. We're gonna have to grip this, I think, with our fingers and really make sure that this is all in the right place. Again, ideally, if this all goes in the right place, then we don't have to worry about puttying it later, and that's what we don't want to do on small pieces like this. As soon as you start getting the putty out this, the sanding just... You then have to be way too careful, and I'm not patient enough to be so careful. Now, the next bit is the hangar deck. I'm assuming this is this massive bit in a separate baggie. Because it doesn't have a number or anything. So this is a fun one. We might actually get more than 2 stages done this stream, which would be fantastic. Now, well, that's obviously the bottom in it, and that's going to be the top. I think, yep, it says the, well, it doesn't say to cut anything, but this isn't on the reference picture, so I'm going to cut this off. We can always glue it back if we need to, but it's not on the reference picture, and it's not in the instruction manual. Now, I do love my Chinese warships, hence why I am building this one. I managed to buy a Lego kit while out in China of the Type 52D. And then my new computer's about to be built in a Type 55, the Renhai. So yeah, we're gonna have a lot of Chinese warships in the house. My next model kit, I'm gonna try and get HMS Duncan if I can. That'd be quite cool. If I can find a model of the HMS Wales. That'd be quite fun. Or Dragon, should I say? That'd be quite fun. But mostly, we're going to be focusing on Chinese warships. I just really like the simple design of the Chinese warships. They're very clean and they're very smooth. I find, a lot of the modern warships all look the same anyway. But especially with some of the US ones and some of the British ones, we have so much like additional stuff on it, like additional radar, that kind of stuff. It then looks like it's gonna be very difficult to build, and I'm just getting started, and I want to have something that's going to be overly complex, and then not going to be able to complete it properly. Whereas the Chinese ones are a lot more simplistic, and if I get the box out in a second, the actual model of it is really, really simple, and I feel like it's a bit more achievable for me. And yeah, I just like the simplistic design. I feel like some of the American ones are a little bit too over-engineered. Look absolutely fantastic and are extraordinarily powerful, but maybe a little bit too over-engineered sometimes. But again, I don't know much about modern warships. Most of my knowledge is of World War II warships. And unfortunately they are way too complicated for me to build anytime soon. But ideally I'd build either an IJN Shinano or the Yamato, and I'd quite like to do a Belfast at some point one day, when I get a bit more skill involved. But again, I think we're a long way from building oh no, I've messed it up. Oh no. I think we're a long way away from doing a World War II warship. Bismarck would be pretty cool as well. My current PC case is a HMS Illustrious 1942 British aircraft carrier. It was one of the biggest projects I think I've ever worked on. I had to 3D model it myself and then 3D print it. It took over 70 hours to 3D model. And I'm not a 3D modeler, so it's very, very blocky. I don't have a picture like that I can show you right now, but if you hop onto my Steam account, it's on my Steam account. I might actually have to putty this one because I'm not going to be able to get a clean gluer. Plus it is a bit too many gaps. I can link my... Oh, I just knocked the desk. I can link my Steam account and then you can have a look at the picture.
Every 4 computers now have primary control of critical vehicle functions.
Oh no, things have gone horrifically wrong. I've just knocked over the airbrush filled with paint onto my carpet, so please give me a moment while I try and sort this out. Oh no, the wife is going to be very, very upset. Thankfully I don't think the damage has been too bad. Oh, this is a disaster. Thank you. Yeah, it took 300 hours to print. It's a very long time. Yeah, no, please give me a moment. I've just spilled paint all over the carpet. Yes, I completely agree. really sorry. Just gotta sort this out before it stains too much. But yeah, that took an absolutely huge amount of time and has been a project of a lifetime. It really does look fantastic. A lot of work went into it. But yeah, thank you. I really love my World War II warships, and HMS Illustrious. The 1942 edition is probably one of my favourites. Other than HMS Belfast. But again, back onto the the simple side of things. There's absolutely no way I would have been able to 3D model an HMS Belfast to fit a computer in it. That has a full gaming PC in it. Now, obviously, you can see that the power supply unit's hanging on the outside. Unfortunately, I didn't make it big enough. But that is 1.6 meters long, so it is a hefty build. Phew, I managed to get it out of the cockpit. So the wife should hopefully not kill me today. There's always tomorrow. No, I'm joking. She's lovely. Right. Where's the putty gone? Completely lost track of what we were doing. Ah, it's back here. Cool. Yeah, we're just gonna have to put a small amount, only a small amount, of putty up on the back here, because I don't know if you can see on the stream, but we have just a small hole here. Again, I can't really get this to focus, unfortunately. Yeah, it's very hard to get it to focus. It's too busy focusing on the background, but there's a small gap here and another quite a large one here. I'm just gonna again, I don't want to add too much because I don't want it to remove any of the detail, but we do just need to fill it in enough so that it looks good. And again, this was a Reddit suggestion. This acts more like Tipex, to be honest. It's very nice for covering up some of your mistakes. Yep. Just give me one moment. Right, we just need to use a cotton bud just to wipe up the door. We just accidentally added a bit onto the door. Again, we don't want this to ruin any of the detail. Do the same on the other side. A little touch more. just onto this corner here. Now I know it's going to look really obvious now, but hopefully when we paint it, should get rid of some of it. And I will have to sand it down once it's dried as well, just so we retain some of that sharpness and some of the detail. Again, we'll wipe some off on this side because we don't want it to affect the placement of the next item either. Yeah, that's good. And how about we do it on the back? Nope, we're doing alright on the back, we just need to glue it down properly. Right, cool. Happy with that. Well, I'm not happy, we should have got it right, but too busy panicking about the paint on the carpet, so. Another paint one there. We'll just go zoom over like this. We'll gently turn this around. The other side looks alright, so we can just leave this on this side. I might just go over the other side as well, just to smooth it out. Cool. That's looking really good. We also need to put on B20, so while we're waiting for the front, the back part to dry, we can now put it on the front side. Now, what did we actually do with B? Oh, I think it's this one right here. That is the case, yeah, and I believe that this is number 20, so we can cut that off if I can get my hand around the microphone and the camera. And if you're just tuning in, welcome to the stream. It's great to have you along on this lovely Wednesday evening. I hope you're all nice and relaxed and you've had a good day. If you haven't had a good day, then hopefully being part of this stream can help cheer you up a little bit and help relax you and de-stress before your next day tomorrow. Hopefully you have a nice relaxed day tomorrow. If you have work, then I do apologise. I will also be working, but I'll be taking it very chill, very relaxed, and I'll try and enjoy it. Try and enjoy each day to its fullest while we can. But yeah, it's great to have you along on this journey. It's a big journey for me. You know, this is the first model I've ever built, and it is very, very difficult. Yeah, after that whole spiel of, oh, I thought this one would be easy, it's actually not. It's quite difficult. But, you know, everything's difficult when it's your first time. I'm actually going to have to sand this down a bit, so we'll start off with a 600. Again, not doing too much, just got to take off some of the edges. What did I do with my 1800? That's 1000 will work for now. Same for this side. Then we move up to a 4000, just to gently smooth out some of these harder bits. Yeah, like that. They're beautifully smooth. And then we want it up this way. I think this means just slide it in. It's got to sit on top, so what we'll do is we'll grab the beam. You have to hop off. Have a good evening as well. I hope you have a nice rest of your evening. It was good to see you, and I hope you'll all be along to the next one. But if not, I hope you have a pleasant week as well. Now I'm wondering, do we need to slide it in? Because I'm not able to slide it in personally. I'm wondering if we can just gently wiggle this in all the way along. I guess we'll find out in a minute. Beautiful. Just tap down on the sides at the back. Perfect. And what we'll do is we'll just put some glue along the seams and just help that all glue together nicely. Especially in this bit where there's a bit of a gap. And we'll just do down the back bit here as well. And what we can do is we can just hold this in like this. We just want this to glue together nicely and firmly to try and avoid any gaps like we had at the back. And once that's been held on for long enough, we can do the next step, which is B3. So what we're going to do is we're going to get B back out, which I think is this one. That is, in fact, correct, yes, and B3 is the one at the back, the big one. Okay. We're gonna, I think we come in at an angle like this and try and take the entire sprue off, like so. Yeah, that's good. Just gonna gently slide it off like this. Yep, and then we're going to go off the back as well. Just tuning in, welcome to the stream, it's great to have you along. We'll do this side as well. I'm actually just going to do a quick 4000 sand just to help that smooth and settle. Then we're going to want this one at the back. Yeah, nice. Right, so let's get some glue on this. Just gently slide this in like this, and just quickly put a line there, a line up the front, do a line down that side. I'm actually just going to do a line at the back like this, to ensure that it's all nicely glued together without any gaps. Again, the less putty that we can use, the better, because otherwise that's a lot of sanding. Yeah, I've got nothing against doing lots of sanding, but I'd prefer not to get too much dust in my room if I can help it. And I can help it by doing nice clean lines. Right, the next one is a 3-parter again, so we're actually going to have to move this out of the way. Back to there. Because we need to cut out B16, 18 and 17. Which are all these bits here, I imagine. Yep, so we'll start off with B18 because this is the middle bit. I would cut it over the desk, but I can't get my arms there right now. So we'll come back to clean it all up. Norian for the follow. It's good to have you on board with the Lunar Lim family. Right, so that's this bit done. I imagine this bit's the top. Let's get B17 out. Where is it? It's this one. Cool. Right, and then we're going to want to glue these together, but we're going to have to try and get this, again, almost perfect. This is going to be very, very tough to do. So I have a feeling it's going to be a similar vein to before. Let's have a look. So this bit does actually go on there quite nicely. Okay. So what I'm actually going to do here is similar to what we did before, actually, and we'll just have to fill in the gaps that arise, because they will arise on this part, unfortunately. We're going to grab this one first, and we are just going to slide this under, and we'll grab part number 2. We're actually going to probably put this one in first, which actually makes me think that I should probably get out quickly B16, just so I can quickly glue this on as well. Providing I've done a good cut, it should be alright to not need too much sanding or scalpeling. I've not done a very good cut, it's at a slight angle, so I'm actually going to have to quickly scalpel this. 1 and 2. Quickly, a nice line down on that. Crack this one off of here. To slide that nicely in, because then we can quickly re-glue this. And then just shape this piece in like this. Oh, that's so much better. Yeah, that's perfect. That's gone way better than the other one. Alright, cool. What we can do is we can actually just fill in a bunch of stuff around here. And we can also bunch down on this line here. And in the corner here. That is looking fei sheng hao, as the Chinese would say, or perfect. You can see the line there is very, very clean, quite smooth, and just as angular as it should be, really. Very happy with that. And we've just done step number 5, so we've actually done 3 steps this stream, which is very impressive. We've gone through a lot more than I was expecting. But I think we'll call it there for today. You know, it's been quite a long stream. We're at nearly 3 hours again. And obviously I need to come off. Yeah, I hope you've had a good stream. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I have. And I look forward to seeing you guys in the next one. It's been fantastic to have you along. And I really hope you enjoy the rest of your week.